I'd like to call this council meeting to order at 6:31, and I'll call on Councillor Hanley to read the land acknowledgement. It's coming up right now. Okay. There you go.
Thank you. The city of Thorold is situated on treaty land. The land is steeped in the rich history of the First Nations, such as the Hadawandak, the Haudenosaunee, and the Anishinaabe, including the Mississaugas of the Credit First Nation. There are many First Nations, Métis, and Inuit people from across Turtle Island that live and work in Niagara today. The city of Thorold stands with all Indigenous people, past and present, in promoting the wise stewardship of the lands on which we live.
Thank you, Councillor Hanley. Are there any declarations of interest? Seeing none, adoption of the agenda. I propose we amend the agenda as follows. That item 14.4, being report PWCS 29-2026, be presented immediately after item 9.2, being a presentation regarding Muslim burial options in Lakeview Cemetery. And 2, that item 16.1, being a motion respecting an amendment to bylaw 43-2025 by being the cemetery administration bylaw, be heard immediately after report PWCS 29-2026. Can I get a mover and a seconder for that? I got Councillor DeRose and Councillor Sentence. All those in favor? Opposed? That is carried. Adoption of the minutes. Can I get a mover and a seconder to adopt the minutes? I got Councillor D'Angelo and Councillor Decker to adopt the minutes from council meeting held on Tuesday, May 12th, 2026. Are there any errors or omissions? Seeing none, all those in favor? Opposed? That is carried. Mayor's remarks. On May 14th, CAO Manoj Dawaria and I attended the Niagara Home Builders Association annual chairs dinner held at the Hawk Golf Club in Pelham. Municipal leaders from across Niagara provided updates on development activity in their municipalities. Niagara Home Builders Association CEO Chuck McShane presented Lincoln Mayor Sandra Easton and I with plaques in recognition of our upcoming retirement from municipal politics this November. On May 20th, I was joined by Councillor Sentence, Didavitis, who are both nonprofit board members, Councillor Decker, D'Angelo, O'Hare, and Regional Councillor Whalen at the grand opening and ribbon cutting for the Thorold Municipal Nonprofit Housing Corporation 5 Baker Street 55+ apartment complex. Thank you, John Kenny, Donna Session, and the Nonprofit Housing Board for the invitation and all you do to make the City of Thorold a better community, providing safe, accessible, and affordable housing options for residents. On May 23rd, I was joined by Councillors D'Angelo, O'Hare, Regional Councillor Whalen, Thorold Garden Club President Tammy Lyons, and Garden Club members Linda Burek, Brenda Martin, and Anna O'Hare at their tree planting ceremony in Mellsfort Lake Gibson Conservation Park. Thank you to city staff for preparing everything, and the pouring rain didn't deter any of us. Well, I might be lying a little bit, it was coming down pretty hard. On May 23rd, Councillors O'Hare, Didavitis, and D'Angelo attended Dan Cola's Give the Boot for Ronald McDonald House Gala held at the Stone Mill Inn in St. Catharines. Ronald McDonald House South Central Ontario CEO Mario Didavitis was also in attendance for this important fundraiser. And thank you, Councillor O'Hare, for bringing greetings on behalf of Thorold City Council. On May 27th, I was joined by Councillor Didavitis, Regional Councillor Whalen, at the 10th anniversary of the Niagara Nutrition Partners Breakfast held at Amici's in Thorold. It was inspiring to see the community's ongoing commitment to ensuring students have access to nutritious food and support they need to succeed. This year's event sold out and was a tremendous success, with the community coming together to raise over $40,000. On May 27th, I was joined by Councillors Decker, Sentence, and sentence at Venture Niagara's retirement celebration honoring Susan Moran for her 20-plus years of dedicated service to the Niagara community, including a lengthy stint as Thorold's tourism manager. Throughout her career as business development manager, Susan made a lasting impact through her support for local business and economic development initiatives across Niagara. Of note, Venture Niagara's offices are located in the Welland Mills building on Pine Street in Thorold. On May 29th, I was joined by Jeff Holman, Director of Public Works and Community Services, at the formal launch of the Clean Agriculture for Sustainable Production Initiative, CASP, which highlights Brock University's commitment to advancing sustainable agriculture, applied research, and experiential learning. The project, known as the Norris W. Walker Research Farm, is located at 2883 Merrittville Highway in Thorold. It will help connect research innovation with real-world impact across the region and beyond. On May 29th, I attended the Help Kids Shine brunch at White Oaks in Niagara-on-the-Lake. The month of May is the Niagara Children's Center's largest annual fundraising campaign, known as Help Kids Shine, and this year was the 23rd year. The goal this year was $350,000, and I'm happy to say that they surpassed their goal. They announced $385,702, and it's still counting because there's still money coming in. On June 1st, we raised a pride flag at City Hall, as this day marks the beginning of Pride Month, a time to celebrate the history, courage, and contributions of the 2S LGBTQI+ communities. I was joined by city staff, Councilors Decker, Sentence, O'Hare, DeAngela, and Regional Councilor Whalen. The pride flag represents inclusivity, unity, openness, and our shared commitment to creating a welcoming community for all. On June 1st, I attended a flag raising at the 50+ Center celebrating the start of Seniors Month in Ontario. June is a dedicated time to recognize and honor the contributions of older adults in our community. The 2026 theme is Ontario Seniors, Let's Get Moving, which focuses on promoting wellness, social engagement, and active lifestyles through various programs. We are fortunate to have a very active Thorold 50+ and Thorold Age-Friendly Committee in our city. Joining me were Councilors O'Hare, Decker, Sentence, DeAngela, and Regional Councilor Whalen. Some upcoming events. This Sunday, June 7th, the Decoration Day Parade and Ceremony will form up behind the Thorold Legion Branch 17 at 1 p.m. On Thursday, June 11th, Senior of the Year Awards will be hosted at the Thorold Senior Center 50+ at 11 a.m. Saturday, June 13th, Mountain View Lemonade Day, a fundraiser for FACTS Niagara Summer Camp Program takes place, and there'll be booths throughout Niagara, and there'll be a lot throughout Thorold. Merrittville Speedway, 75th anniversary, with a special evening celebration, and that's on the same day, on Saturday, June 13th. On Monday, June 15th, the Thorold Runway Recognition Award Ceremony and Dinner at the Ovation Ballroom in Port Robinson West begins at 6 p.m. Tickets can be purchased online or at I think it's the Bomb on Front Street that's selling them as well. Yeah. And that's the end of my mayor's report. Presentations. So up first, we have the academic studio presentation, Urban Possibilities in Downtown Thorold. And I'll call on Bailey Hansen, Maria Marchanka, and Rita Assad, students, School of Urban and Regional Planning, Toronto Metropolitan University, for their presentation regarding urban possibilities in downtown Thorold. And you have up to 10 minutes for your presentation. Oh, Kevin, are you doing the presentation on their behalf?
Mr. Mayor, I thought I'd do a quick introduction, as these are my students from Toronto Metropolitan.
Go right ahead.
So good evening, Mr. Mayor, members of council, members of the public. Happy Pride. My name is Kevin Nunn, Senior Planner with the city. And as a part-time contract lecturer as well at Toronto Metropolitan University, I had the pleasure of working with 12 students from the Urban and Regional Planning Program. They worked on a visioning exercise exploring future possibilities within downtown Thorold. The concepts were developed as an academic exercise with complete creative freedom, which we don't get very often, and they do not represent the views of the city or the planning department. The students focused on 4 municipally owned sites: Kiefer Mansion, White Arena, the Linden and Ormond municipal parking lots, and lands near Lock 6 along St. David's and Wellington Streets. In some cases, they expanded their vision beyond these city-owned parcels to consider broader partnership opportunities. The objective was to explore how strategic interventions at these key locations, connected by the former canal corridor, could help to catalyze downtown revitalization. An exercise in urban acupuncture, if you will. With that, over to my colleagues Maria, Bailey, and Rita to share their vision.
Thank
If you could share the slide presentation kindly, and over to you. Next slide, please.
Okay, good evening, City Council. My name is Maria, and I'm here with my colleagues Rita and Bailey, presenting on behalf of our group of 12 students. Thank you for your time and for the opportunity to share our work as urban planning students at Toronto Metropolitan University. This project pushed us to apply our academic knowledge in real-life world context. We also want to thank the mayor and the staff for meeting us during the January site visit. Learning about Thorold history, current context, and growth priorities shaped our thinking throughout this project. With that said, we're excited to walk you through our project. Next slide, please. We will begin with our primary plan to orient you to our study area, then move through our 4 site concepts, and finish with key takeaways. Next slide, please. To ground our discussion, this aerial view highlights our study area. The Welland Canal is shown at the top east, the downtown core is marked in red, and our 4 project sites are outlined in white. Next slide, please. This is our primary plan, which helped us set the framework for analysis for each of our 4 site concept sites. We analyzed the strengths, weaknesses, priorities, and challenges for each concept as an approach to develop our proposed designs. Generally speaking, our 4 concepts visions center on revitalization, connectivity, public spaces, and community destinations. Next slide, please. So Kiefer Mansion is a defining historic landmark in Thorold. Our concept considers how the site could evolve through community-oriented development, heritage preservation, and improved public space and connectivity. We coined the term Kiefer Mansion Botanical Garden to describe a vision that opens the grounds to the community while allowing the mansion to be repurposed through future partnerships. We identify the surrounding lands as a key entry point, noted the site cultural significance, and used our analysis to shape a concept focused on gathering spaces, landscape features, and heritage programming. Next slide, please. Our vision reimagines the key aforementioned site and neighboring municipal lands as a multi-purpose public space centered on community engagement, ecological renewal, and heritage preservation. It also strengthens connections to nearby landmarks and reinforces the site as a gateway to downtown. The site plan introduces accessible wayfinding signage, wide pathways, and multi-use trails to support walkability and safety. We drew inspiration from spaces such as Island Gardens Conservatory, Gill Park, Black Creek Pioneer Village, Rural Botanical Garden, and Stacked Market, places that blend heritage landscapes with community programming. Year-round programming is central to the concept, encouraging ongoing community use and strengthening the site cultural identity. With that said, our goals for the site are to create community-led public spaces, establish wildlife conservation, and rehabilitate and remediate hazardous lands. Now we will move on to the second site. Next slide, please.
The name Lockside reflects the historic locks beside the former canal, while Commons represents a place that brings people together. This concept reimagines the Thorold Arena site as an inclusive community hub rooted in Thorold's identity and responsive to community needs. Our site analysis identified the Thorold Arena site as a prime redevelopment opportunity with strong access along Front Street. However, the aging arena no longer meets modern accessibility or sustainability standards, and the surrounding area lacks activation. At the same time, population growth and downtown revitalization efforts creates opportunities for new development. Next slide, please. Our vision is to create a community-led destination that brings people together through public spaces, accessible amenities, and ecological design. The proposal includes 3 buildings: a mixed-use building with commercial space and 5 stories of affordable housing, a revitalized arena with 2 hockey and ice skating rinks, and a community facility introducing a public pool and library, all identified as key needs in Thorold. These buildings are oriented around a central pedestrian spine to maximize walkability and strengthen site connectivity. Drawing from Thorold's heritage and the natural character of the Niagara Escarpment, the design centers on the urban forest laneway, bringing nature into an urban setting, and creating a welcoming space for residents to gather, relax, and connect. Altogether, Lochside Commons transforms an underutilized site into a dynamic community hub that strengthens downtown revitalization, enhances public life, and celebrates Thorold's identity. Next slide, please.
Oh, you're muted. There
Sorry.
you go.
We named this Sorry, can you hear me now?
Now we can, yeah.
Okay. We named this concept area Seafarers Wharf, which is a nod to the journeys of the vessels that travel through the Welland Canal alongside the site. During our site visit, we saw it as a major opportunity because it is underutilized, close to downtown, and has the potential to support revitalization and new housing. It has a brownfield and industrial legacy, so the challenge was not just redevelopment, but redevelopment that is strategic, connected, and sensitive to the site context. The site benefits from its proximity to the downtown, the canal, and surrounding woodlands, but faces challenges related to its isolated location and former industrial use. Opportunities exist for mixed-use development, improved pedestrian connections, and housing, while market uncertainty and the need for municipal coordination and infrastructure investments remain key considerations. Our initial vision organizes movement, public access, housing, and community spaces along the canal's edge. Next slide, please. Board 2 presents our refined vision for the Seafarers Wharf. Our goal is to create a vibrant canal-facing gateway that extends the downtown towards the canal through mixed-use development, public open space, and a variety of affordable housing options, as well as creating a stronger public identity along the canal. The site plan is organized as a linear canal front community with residential, retail, and community uses connected by strong pedestrian networks. The built form cross-sections and 3D renders show how we balance intensity with a comfortable public environment. We aimed for human scale while introducing appropriate density and looked at a variety of examples already implemented, such as the Canary Wharf in London. The proposal also incorporates social and environmental priorities through affordable housing, locally serving commercial uses, transit access, and sustainable design features such as green roofs, stormwater buffering, and permeable paving. There may also be potential future partnership opportunities with neighboring developments, including the mosque site, if there is an interest in participating in a coordinated development approach. Next slide, please. Our final concept site area we named Beaver Dam Square, which speaks to the adjacent Battle of Beaver Dams Park. This concept reimagines underused space as a connected community hub that supports the revitalization of downtown Thorold while also making use of the right-of-way of Linden Street. Located between Ormond Street, Pine Street, and Highway 58, during the site visit, the site currently consists of vacant lots, parking areas, and strong transit access is nearby. The area also includes Club Capri, which is a long-standing banquet hall, along with 2 approved developments, a 4-story self-storage building and a 10-story residential tower. The proposal focuses on revitalizing the vacant lot, improving connections to Battle of Beaver Dams Park, and exploring theoretical partnerships with Club Capri. Podium-style buildings ranging from 2 to 12 stories creates a transition between the taller developments and the surrounding low-rise neighborhoods. Next slide, please. The extended site plan explores future mixed use and housing opportunities, including improved connection across Highway 58, pedestrian connections, and traffic calming measures to improve accessibility towards downtown. The proposal prioritizes affordable housing for young adults and students while reclaiming Linden Street as a pedestrian-centered plaza and community hub where people can get together and socialize. Also, a climbable beaver statue inspired by the Battle of Beaver Dams and Bidasige Park in Toronto creates an interactive feature and landmark unique to Thorold. The 3D renders also demonstrate the varied building heights, reduced shadow impacts, and 3-meter setbacks designed to improve the comfort for surrounding residents. Next slide, please.
That is all we have for today. We'd once again like to thank the council, city staff, Kevin, our professors, and everyone involved for giving us the opportunity to explore these ideas and present our work today. This project has been an incredibly valuable experience for us as student planners, allowing us to apply our studies in a meaningful and collaborative way while engaging with real opportunities within Thorold. While these proposals are conceptual in nature, we hope they contribute positively to ongoing conversations around growth, revitalization, connectivity, and community development within the city. Thank you again for your time, and we'd be happy to answer any questions.
Well, thank you for your presentation. I'll open the floor up to council. Go ahead, Councillor Dedevine.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Thank you for your vision doing this. I'm a council member, but I'm also a business owner, developer, property owner downtown, and I had my master's in sales last year in real estate. So this is my vision for downtown, is exactly what you're talking about. With Beaver Dams Park, you were saying that it'd be good for maybe affordable housing near Beaver Dams Park?
Yes.
Building
Yes.
something like that?
Yes, we were trying to prioritize, as there's many students and young adults in that area, we do plan to have a prioritization for affordable housing.
Well, that makes me and my brothers feel good because we're doing 50 units right downtown. So this project just gives us extra confidence. One other issue I was going to ask you about parking. Do you think lowering down the restriction to 0.5 instead of 1 point something to attract more investors downtown? Did you put that in your study, parking?
Sorry, I don't believe we looked too much into parking. It was kind of just like what we can do with the area and not so much like the restrictions that we had placed on us.
Yeah, well, I think you did a great job, and I love your vision for downtown. Thank you.
Thank you.
Councillor Sentence.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Mayor. Through you, great job on the project. You must have had a good teacher, I would imagine, somewhere. You guys think big. I like that. You think in the future, the affordable housing. With all these, the question is, with all of these projects that you have in here, do you see them all interlocking, like with walking distance, biking, and that's where I think we got to go. Is this all integrated in there?
Go ahead. Anyone that want to answer that?
Yes, through you, Mr. Chair. I believe we were prioritizing the cycling networks and pedestrian connections with already existing infrastructure that's there and trying to strengthen the surrounding area and creating like a connective spine from the downtown to the 3 other sites that we've mentioned before.
Great, thank you very much.
Anyone else? Go ahead, Councillor Decker.
Thank you, through you, Mr. Mayor. Thank you, ladies. The presentation was fabulous. I have to say that I was really excited to see the presentation on the old arena. That's something that I would love to see redesigned and stuff, and I love that the concept that you have, and that you're looking at recreation space and affordable housing on the upper portion of it. I guess my question is, when you had mentioned 2 arenas, were you incorporating the arena that's in existence now with the plan on the old arena?
I believe that we're proposing to make like a totally different arena that encompasses like multi-use space.
That's great. I just think that having multi-use space and incorporating that downtown would be fabulous. So great presentation.
Anyone else?
Thank you.
Go ahead, Councillor O'Hare.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Through you to the presenters, wonderful job, really great ideas. I'll echo Councillor Sentence, a fantastic vision. So kudos to you all. My question is more of a technical one. You said you had your site visit in January, rough, I'm sure. Did you begin this assignment in January, or had it started before? Because you accomplished a lot in this short time.
Yeah, so our winter term did start in January, so it was up till January until today, pretty much.
Well, I just want to say congratulations and well done.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Councillor D'Angelo, go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, and thanks to the presenters for presenting. It's always great to see visioning exercises. It makes a huge difference because you can see the potential. But I'm hoping it just doesn't stop here. 2 of those pieces of property are privately owned. Can we make sure that this presentation or this adaptation can be sent to the owners so they can see that and see what the potential is of their property? Because the last thing you want is just to fall off the table, and then I know there's always expectations the city could do stuff, but when it's private property, we're limited what we can do. We could work with them, and so I'd like to see this move forward in the sense of the 2 owners, the Beaver Dams one and the Wharf one, a large component of that is privately owned. So if that could be sent to the owners to see what can happen with their property if they envision it later.
Go ahead, Ken.
Perhaps I'll take this one through you, Mr. Mayor. That's a great idea, and in the planning department, we can certainly do that. Yeah, thank you so much.
Okay, anyone else before we move on? Go ahead, Councillor.
Again, just great presentation. I like the part with the Thorold Arena. Some time ago, Councilman, remember I brought a motion forward in regards to air rights, and through you to the presenter, Mr. Nunn, have you ever considered seeking out a developer who may want to buy the air rights for where the Thorold Arena once stood? I know of other municipalities have done it.
You're asking all the tough questions tonight. I know air rights can be appropriate in certain situations, so I think it depends ultimately on the proposal that gets brought forward.
Being the arena's been decommissioned, actually it fits the protocol for being able to sell the air rights in that property.
Okay,
Thank you, sir.
anyone else before we move? Go ahead, Councillor.
I said one more
Question?
Girls, you did a great job with all this and the vision that you have. I was with an investor today, and they have the same vision you have for downtown Thorold. They can't believe how beautiful it is. Only thing I would like to see next time you do something like that, put a little bit of numbers on it, just so there's scale. So when you're looking at this, so it's not just a dream one, but you did a great job. And I'm going to pass your vision along to a couple of people I spoke to this afternoon, because you have some really good vision, and it's free for us. So I just took this.
Thanks for the question. So
Gotta make you feel good.
now, I just want to, before we close, I just want to thank Kevin and the student group. This is true visionaries, and it takes visions to move things ahead, and we really thank you for your work, and we continually hope that we can work closely with you moving forward. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you.
Muslim burial options in Lakeview Cemetery. So we're going to start with a presentation from Amanda Gebhardt, practice lead with Lees and Associates. So Amanda, you have up to 10 minutes for your presentation, and then we can have some questions if there are any.
Thank you for having Lees here today to provide an overview of the independent review of Muslim burial options for the cemetery. Lees and Associates was retained by the City of Thorold to review options for accommodating Muslim burial practices at Lakeview Cemetery through a scoped and focused study. The city's existing policy framework supports accommodation through operational measures, but introduces constraints related to section development and phasing. The municipality has the responsibility to accommodate cultural and religious needs for municipal services, and the report outlines best practices and examples of how Ontario and Canadian municipalities address Muslim burial services. The report includes a range of service delivery options, each with different implications for cultural accommodation, operations, and land use, and financial performance. The report provides guidance as to how to support further assessment of these options and to identify which approach really is the best option to meet the needs of the city and its families. In terms of legislative framework, what the rules of the road will be for this, the report provides an overview of some specific cultural and religious accommodations as a part of these three key pieces. The Funeral, Burial, and Cremation Service Act for Ontario does not mandate specific accommodations or dictate how municipalities must structure their cemetery services. For example, nowhere in the Act does it prohibit or endorse segregated or dedicated sections for an area in a private or public cemetery. It identifies that municipalities are, however, responsible to determine how best to meet the community needs. The Bereavement Authority of Ontario oversees and approves cemetery expansions, such as the creations of new sections, new cemeteries, where lots will be, what will be sold. The BAO will approve submitted plans before sales can commence. However, the cemetery owners retain the right to determine which lots will be sold and when, including phasing sales availability or temporary withholding lots from sale for strategic reasons. The BAO requires the cemeteries operate with dignity and respect, which includes being responsive to cultural and religious needs, but allowing the individual organization to identify the programs and services, recognizing that every market is different, every community is different, and there are different constraints specific to sites. As identified in the Human Rights Code, municipalities must ensure services are non-discriminatory and accommodate protected needs up to the point of undue hardship. In terms of Thorold's policy context, the city has DEI mandates where it looks to provide inclusive spaces and inclusive service delivery to its community. It has bylaws in place for the cemetery that reference religious and cultural burial practices through general provisions rather than explicit religious-specific policies. It supports accommodation through operational measures such as grave orientation and coordinated interments. Section development policies do provide a different nuance that undeveloped sections can only be brought into use once a section is full. Where existing supply cannot meet cultural needs, the matter becomes a broader service delivery and planning consideration. And the current status. The policy decision-making was paused at the February council meeting pending further study, and this report informs that process. In terms of key Muslim burial practices, grave orientation is one of the critical items. Graves need to be aligned towards Mecca via a greater circular route, and from Thorold, that's approximately 56 or 58 degrees. There is a bit of a range. Body positioning preferences are specific to cultural groups within the Muslim faith and can affect that exact orientation. Timely interment is very critical to this group, where burials are expected between 24 and 48 hours of death and requiring adapted cemetery logistics and sometimes pre-arranging sequence of graves in order to help facilitate this very quick turnaround time. Community collaboration is a really key component within the faith. The imam or community representative will often fulfill the role of, similar to a funeral director, streamlining the communication process and acting as that communication mechanism for the family. And regional demand plays a key role. So the demand often extends beyond local demographics, and mosque members and burial needs often outpace conventional population forecasts, whether the community growth is just exponential beyond what those traditional forecasting tracks, or that there is a more regional draw. The report looks at a sample of municipalities who have completed recent assessments on Muslim burial needs. Skip to the next slide. Wonderful. So the report looks at similar municipalities who've completed recent assessments of those Muslim burial needs. It also represents a range of differing approaches. So that is why these particular ones were selected. Cambridge has an approach where they take grave-specific orientation, but an open access. So it's not a Muslim-specific area. They just have specific grave orientations in specific sections. They do offer sales in small amounts of block lots, but really control how many lots are sold at one time to ensure that there's opportunities for other community members and other groups to purchase those graves. Brantford, through their recent study, the growth of their Muslim community was really outside of some of their demographic projections. They had a very small area designated for Muslim burial that really quickly was filled. Their approach is to allow, through their expansion of their site, earmarking sections for Muslim burial, not specifically reserving it, but planning that through to allow them to change pace to meet demand if that changes, but to ensure that they will have that expansion opportunity as time goes on. The city of Hamilton has a different approach. They have a large designated section where they have sold a large portion of that specifically to a particular group. They have reserved some of that section open, but designated for Muslims only to accommodate individuals who may not be associated with those specific groups and other organizations who may come through to the community. So 3 different projections. They are bigger communities, but through these, without doing an in-depth demographic demand needs analysis, we can somewhat get an idea of what the Thorold projections may be, looking at what 10 years may need in terms of 150 lots, and 25 years is a best practice that we like to make sure we have lots for, which could be up to 300 lots. But again, this particular, with all of these communities and examples, the studies on those demographics were far more in depth than just a simple demographic analysis. In terms of operational considerations, the report provides insight on operational constraints and opportunities that can occur with the varying different approaches. It provides insights into mitigation measures and rationales why some might be better than others in terms of operational practices and site constraints. Site maintenance with mismatched grave orientation can create some complications with mowing and also headstone relocation risk. It can be mitigated through some strategic planning as well, and really depending on the size of that particular space and how those angles interact. Grave yield impact, depending on the nature of the area and the shape, that orientation can yield losses or even gains depending on how those graves are oriented, and which has a significant impact in terms of both financial and what a community can be provided. Design and iconography, having symbols such as the Quiblar stone and other cultural markers and placemaking can be important to some community groups, and is certainly something that through traditional cemetery design has been incorporated. Certainly with open sections, like in the Cambridge example, something like this isn't necessarily appropriate because multiple people of many faiths may be in that section, where designated sections do allow for this opportunity. In terms of administration, dedicating or bulk sales, just still back to that slide. Administration, there can be some streamline efficiencies in terms of whether it's surveying, whether it is reducing the need for family consultation and other bulk sales opportunities. Oh, I'm so sorry. So there's different pros and cons that the plan outlines, and again, the 25-year horizon is a really key planning opportunity. Next slide. The plan provides a series of options, one being to do nothing, which provides some limitations in terms of serving the community. One option looks at subsections within the existing area and can provide up to 10 years of capacity, but does create some mixed orientation, which has some benefits and some constraints depending on the section. There is another option to do a subsection within the open section A, so offering a small amount of lots within that section and providing flexibility for potential future growth or potential for other mixed use in that area. Third option, option 3, provides section A as a general access, orientation for Muslim orientation, but opens it to the public for anyone. And then option 4, section A being a Muslim only within that larger section. The report identifies, talks about the comparison and really identifies pros and cons with each particular option. There are certainly a large range of great options here. Each have benefits and constraints that are more particular and need to be assessed per the Thorold operational and financial context. And then the report highlights next steps in terms of what should be done to make or what can help inform decisions, including looking at further engagement, more in-depth demand needs analysis, looking at maintenance and operational logistics, engaging with the community and the Muslim groups to see what their particular needs are, and as well as undertaking more detailed site analysis to determine what those impacts might be with the various orientations. Thank you.
Okay. I'm going to open the floor up for questions. Are there any questions for Amanda? Go ahead, Councillor O'Hare.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Through you to Amanda. Thank you, Amanda, for the report. A lot of great information. You covered so many areas. I'm pleased to have received this report. Just a question. I'd like you to just confirm that I have the right understanding of this, and that is that segregation and dedicated sections used to be a part of the burial practices. Then they fell out of favor for a more secular approach, but now they're coming back again. Is that correct? More and more municipalities are accepting these for reasons such as supporting distinct traditions. Is that true?
Through you, the Mayor, yes. Certainly we're no longer looking at it as segregation, but inclusion. And recognizing that many cultures, faiths, community groups, even extending beyond things like green burial, for example, people like to have that aspect of placemaking and that reflection of their beliefs within the space that they are going to be interred.
Great. Thank you so much. That's all.
Anyone else? Okay, thank you very much, Amanda. Appreciate your presentation. Now I need a mover and a seconder to put the report on the floor. I got Councillor Hanley and Councillor DeRose. That's PWCS, information respecting Muslim burial options, and Jeff's here to answer any questions as well as other city staff. And I'll open the floor for questions. Go ahead, Councillor Hanley.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Would it be that staff is just asking for a recommendation from council and not actually asking us to pick any particular appendix?
I'll turn that over. I think they're asking for us to give direction.
Okay, if in that case, I'd like to put a motion on the floor.
Let Manoj answer that question.
Okay.
Then I'll come back.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Yes, we have provided options, and we are asking council to, seeking direction from council. Yeah.
On that note, Mr. Mayor, after reading the report and everything and having the education part of it, I'd like to put a motion on the floor that council take option 3A as a recommendation.
No, there was a motion that was deferred. We were going to do it all there. My suggestion.
Or do we have to do the deferred motion first from June, February 3rd?
Let the clerk decide, okay?
Through you, Mr. Mayor, my suggestion was, as this staff report is for the purpose of furnishing additional information, it's not providing any recommendation. It would be to, once council's asked any questions they may ask of staff, to just receive the report What would happen then is, as the amended agenda approval states, the deferred motion from February 24th would then be brought forward, and council can consider and debate that, amend it, pass it, whatever council may wish. But the idea was to do all that when the deferred motion gets brought forward.
And then we could put a motion to the floor in regards to one of the options that's been presented in the staff report?
Through you, Mr. Mayor, the deferred motion would be moved and seconded. It would be on the floor, and it would be subject to amendments at that point.
Subject to amendments at that point. Is that correct? Okay, so he wants to do it under the motion and receive this report and then do it under the motion. Is everybody good with that?
I'm good with receiving the report.
Okay, okay. Yeah, so we had a mover and a seconder for the report. The report's on the floor. Are there any questions before we take a vote on the report? Go ahead, Councillor.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Through you to the appropriate staff member, I'm just would like some clarification with Section A. What I understand is that Section A has already been pinned for Muslim burial, in other words, plots facing Mecca. So that has already been done. And if you could just confirm that for me, I would appreciate that.
Manoj or Jeff, who's going to answer this?
Through Mr. Mayor, some survey work was done to try and determine what the lot orientation could look like. But I don't believe that anything has been finalized there. We have some preliminary drawings, but and some legal survey work was done, but I'm not sure that the actual pinning is complete.
Manoj, do you want to add to that?
Could I, part B?
Go ahead.
So through you, Mr. Mayor, so Section A has been started though.
Sorry,
Is
Mr.
Dave
Mayor.
on?
I can't confirm that at the moment. I know that some work was done. I'd have to check with my staff.
Is Dave on?
Good evening, Mr. Mayor.
Go ahead.
I missed the question presented by Councillor O'Hare.
Go ahead and repeat it, please.
Okay, thank you. Is my understanding correct that Section A, a portion of it has already been pinned? I believe this was a process that was achieved through a process perhaps 2 years ago, if I'm not mistaken.
Thank you. Yes, through you, Mr. Mayor. As Mr. Holman had mentioned, yes, a portion of Section A was pinned. Some preliminary work was done in Section A.
Further questions?
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Baldoni. Thank you.
Go ahead, Councillor Decker.
Through you, Mr. Mayor, I wanted to make a comment, and it's just strictly a comment on, can I go ahead and do that? It has to do with the February 3rd council deferral on the cemetery. So this is strictly my opinion and a comment, okay?
Well, wait, the deferral of the report
It's just a comment I want to make on,
this report?
yes.
Okay, go
Yeah.
ahead.
So back in February, an email was read to council that to open a new section in the cemetery, it would cost taxpayers in the range of $250,000 to $300,000. I believe the section in question was Section A, and in our staff report, it says that the entire cemetery, so our cemetery, is currently serviced with irrigation and roadway access, and no additional capital costs are required. And to make lots in any sections of our Lakeview Cemetery, they are available for purchase by the public. And I'm only bringing this up because these unsubstantiated claims, they were misleading to the public. And these claims caused a lot of grief to myself and other counselors, and we were the subject to inappropriate threats verbally, on the phone, and also on social media posts. So I'm just making this comment to make the public aware that none of this was true, because it was already had all the access, and it would cost the taxpayers no money. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. Go ahead, Councillor D'Angelo.
Mr. Mayor, are we going down that road where I was also accused of being a racist with no facts that weren't presented properly also? So I didn't appreciate some of the comments that were made out there too, because the proper information hadn't come forward. That's why I didn't make a decision that night. That's why I suggested put the hold on this and get some further information. I'm quite pleased with the report we have. I'm quite pleased with the information that's coming forward. I'm quite pleased with our options that are here that demonstrate that we're trying to work through this. The whole idea was not to have a segregated cemetery. We're more than willing to work towards accommodation. I've never said once not to work towards accommodation. It was segregation that was my concern. So I just want to make sure it's clear out there for the public and for all those comments that I received via email, verbally, that accused me of stuff I did not do. So I'm here and I'm working with the group. I see there's some great options here. And the presentation was really good because it reinforced that we don't need to segregate the cemetery. We can work within the bounds of the open spots to accommodate, to make everyone happy here. Will it be 100% happy? No. But at the end of the day, we're here not to segregate our cemetery, but to treat everyone equally and fairly through this process, and trying to make sure that we take the religious beliefs that individuals have that need to be accommodated when they're being buried. So that's why I say I encourage the extra information. I think it's great that it's here, and I think now council can make a more educated decision to serve our community. Thank you.
Thank you. Go ahead, Councillor Sentence.
Yeah, Mr. Mayor, thank you. Through you to Dave Baldoni, if I could ask the question. Still on there, Dave? So my understanding, and I just want to know, Section A is it's oriented, some of it, and it has all the services and everything that it needs to run as a section. Is that correct?
Through you, Mr. Mayor, yes, that's correct.
Thank you.
Well, the clerk can answer that, and that is that it is restricted based on existing motion, okay? And you
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
So let's get clarity on that.
Through you, Mr. Mayor. Yeah, that's thank you. That's staff's current interpretation of council's direction is that Section A, while open in the sense that it's registered with the BAO, operationally is restricted for sale at the moment. So that's why the report does note that we'd like council's clear direction, however you wish to direct us.
I understand that.
Anyone else has anything on the report? On the report, go ahead.
That's you, Mr. Mayor. Just a question through staff. When it says the roads and irrigation are there, I've driven out there. There's roads that are gravel roads, there's roads that are paved, and there's some that are semi-paved. Now, I don't know if we're opening the whole cemetery, are we paving all the roads to the same standards? Or are we gonna have the discrepancies among the different areas? And then there's some areas, and again, I'm just trying to get clarity from staff, is the whole cemetery open? Because there's piles of dirt in some sections that would make it impossible to service and bury someone there. So if I could have some clarity, is the whole, like, I'm trying to understand what's open for sale and what's not open for sale. Is the whole cemetery open for sale?
Manoj will answer.
Through Mr. Mayor, my understanding is we are selling in section H and L in our cemetery. If you look at the report, those are the sections. And we also have a veteran section that we are selling. And I can, Dave Baldoni can confirm that.
Just so that when I'm driving with my vehicle going through potholes, I just want to make sure I'm correct when I did that. Are all the roads at the same standard throughout the whole cemetery?
I don't think so. Dave can answer that.
Dave, go ahead. Go ahead.
Thank you. Through you, Mr. Mayor. To Councillor D'Angelo. We continue our tar and chip program throughout the cemetery annually according to budgets approved for that year. So We are working towards tar and chipping the cemetery as funds become available.
So the answer is no, it's not all.
So they're not all the same rate right now, is that correct, Dave?
That's correct, through you, Mr. Mayor.
Okay. Anyone else? Okay, so we had a mover and a seconder to receive this report. All those in favor? Opposed? That is carried. Now, we're going to go on to the motion respecting amendment to bylaw 43, 2025, being the cemetery administration bylaw. And I'll call on Councillor O'Hare for the motion, and who's seconding that? Councillor Decker. Go ahead, Councillor.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Whereas Lakeview Cemetery is open to all individuals who wish to purchase a burial plot subject to applicable laws and bylaws, and whereas the corporation of the City of Thorold does not discriminate on the basis of race, religion, or any other prohibited ground under applicable legislation, now therefore be it resolved that the corporation of the City of Thorold enacts as follows: that staff be directed to prepare and present to council an amendment to bylaw 4325, being the city's cemetery administration bylaw, for the purpose of deleting section 2.49 and making any other necessary consequential amendments. And Mr. Mayor, I'd like to add an amendment to that as well, and then perhaps be able to speak to it if I may.
Is that the way we're going to approach? And then anyone else that wants to have an amendment? Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so the amendment first, I would like to amend this and have council, have staff be given the right to sell burial plots in section A once this motion is received and should it be accepted. And I'm referring to section 2A. So that is the amended motion, if I may. And then I'll speak to it. Thank you.
Option 2A. So you're referring to option 2A,
That's correct. Thank you.
okay?
Okay.
And who's sec, and Councillor Decker's second.
Thank you.
Okay, so what, the path forward is,
Can I speak to it, Mr. Mayor? Excuse me.
go ahead.
Thank you. Thank you. So, Amendment 249 has limited staff's ability to manage and run the cemetery in a practical, inclusive manner. As a report from Lees and Associates has clearly stated, as a member of the Coalition of Inclusive Municipalities, Thorold, we should be practicing inclusive practices and the needs of diverse and newcomer communities. And it's well worth pointing out that in Section A, there is an infant child buried already there, and the BAO, the Bereavement Authority of Ontario, already recognizes Section A as being open as well as occupied. So if we are to be deciding tonight on where a community may bury their loved ones, then it makes sense that they be buried where one of their own is alone in a section and where they could all be together as any family would wish to be.
Thank you. And you had
Thank
a
you very much.
seconder? So that's option 2A, am I correct?
That's correct. Thank you.
Okay, does anyone else want to speak to the amendment? Because if we vote on the amendment and it passes, then that moves forward. If we turn it down, then we move on to other options. I just want everyone to be clear on what they're voting. Go ahead.
Through you, Mr. Mayor, I'll put this up on the screen. There are some sections here in the motion, and council's free to choose not to incorporate it, but as I said, staff are looking for full clarity so that we can proceed accordingly. So there is some information on here about other possible steps. Again, it's completely up to council, but I've incorporated 2A, which is on the floor.
That's the amendment.
That's the amended motion, correct?
That's correct. Okay. Councillor Sentence, then Councillor Hands.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. So we're speaking on this right now.
2A.
2A. Okay, so I'll give my 2 cents on 2A. 2A is, as far as I've read from everything, open, oriented, and serviced. There's a child there already in Section A. I like the Cambridge model of sales, that anyone can buy a block of sales, but there's no sections. This doesn't create a section, a dedicated section. This is just an area. The business part of this whole thing is the Muslim community buries their loved ones, and we're going away from that more and more at our cemeteries that we're trying to keep net neutral. The Human Rights Code indicates that we need to be open and accommodating. And the last part, this isn't about religion or ideology for me, but ethically as a parent, there's a child there. We're debating and deciding on which part we're going to go to tonight. Why not, as a parent, I would want my loved one surrounded by family, friends, and we're not creating a section, so why wouldn't we do it here if we're going to do something? Thank you.
Thank you. Councillor Hanley, you are up next.
I was just going to ask for a recorded vote, Mr. Mayor.
Okay. Go ahead, Councillor Dedevite.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I agree with the Ken sentence, what he just said. It doesn't really make sense to me to go to another area when someone's already there by themselves. I think this community's been through a lot. We should accommodate them as much as we can, just like we do everybody else, give them the same rights. There's a child already there, and I'm totally in favor for 2A.
Thank you. Okay, recorded vote, go ahead. This is on the amendment, okay?
Okay, so the mover and seconder are, just to clarify through you, Mr. Mayor, are okay with that wording? Okay. Okay, so that's the amendment on the floor right now. Councillor Hanley requested a recorded vote, so we'll start with Councillor Hanley.
Against.
Okay, Councillor DeRose.
Against.
Councillor Longo.
Against.
Councillor Decker.
For.
Councillor D. DeVitis.
For.
Councillor O'Hare.
For.
Councillor D'Angela.
Opposed.
Councillor Sentence.
Favor.
Mr. Mayor.
Opposed.
Okay, so that vote, the amendment loses, 4 in favor, 5 against.
Okay, now we're open to put another one on. Go ahead, Councillor.
On that note, Mr. Mayor, I'd like to put a motion on the floor that we accept option 3A, Appendix 4. That would accommodate 127 full-body burials. That's the option I wish to put to the floor, Mr. Mayor.
Do you have a seconder, Councillor DeRose? Does anyone want to speak to that? Go ahead, Councillor Sen.
Just a question, like, I want to get an area tonight, so not opposed to Section 3A. I preferred 2A, we're voting on 3A right now.
2A was defeated.
Got it, okay.
Okay, so we're voting on 3A now, and it either gets passed or it gets defeated.
Got it.
But that is the option on the
Okay.
floor, right?
Good.
Okay, anyone that else wants to speak to 3A?
Do you want me to put it up on the screen?
Yeah, put it up on the screen with the picture. I think everybody's seen their package. They know, I'm sure everybody knows what they're voting on. So that is a section of, an option where a section has been dedicated to the proper alignment for Muslim burials. And how many plots are there in there?
Through you, Mr. Mayor, 127.
127, okay? Go ahead, Councilor.
Excuse me, Mayor. In 3A, can we move the body from 2A to 3A?
I have no idea.
Okay.
Okay, I can't answer that for you, okay? Okay,
Want me to put that motion up?
yeah. Just one sec. Once he does, yes, you're absolutely can comment.
Sorry, subsection.
It's not a subsection A.
Subsection of section H.
Yes.
Okay, is it up? I got Councilor O'Hare, and then I'm gonna go to Councilor Longo after that. Go ahead, Councilor O'Hare.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Terribly disappointed. This is another example of where we disregard the needs of a community. This is council imposing their decisions on a group without recognizing the full impact. As was stated earlier, there is a child in Section A.
Mr. Mayor, did we already speak on this moment? It would be a point of order.
I'll let him finish, then I'm going to Councilor Longo. You did speak on that, so you can, if you have anything new to say.
Well, I didn't say that this is an example of council deciding on a community group's outcome without fully understanding the implications. So it's not a good night.
Point of order, Mr. Mayor. I didn't really like that comment. He's indicating I don't know the facts.
Well, and I was just
And
gonna.
I clearly stated earlier that staff did an excellent job of presenting the facts. We brought in a consultant, spent some
I
extra
was
money
just
on
going
this.
to comment on that, okay?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
What I was going to say is, we followed the direction of council, which was to go back and bring a report to council, and they did that with all the options, and it was done with a lot of thought and a lot of work. And that's been presented to council tonight. And so now we're on to an option that's on the floor, and that's what we're gonna vote on. And it hasn't been without a lot of work from staff listening to what council directed. Councilor Longo, you had your hand up.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Mayor. There's been a lot of discussion. I'm sure the community is aware of that. This is not an easy decision for anybody.
No.
But I would like to ask if I could add a further friendly amendment to this.
You tell what it is, and then the mover and seconder will tell you if it's friendly.
I would like to ask that the city of Thorold make an offer to the family of the child who's buried, that at any time, if they choose to do so, we would reintern the body and intern it again in this new section that we are putting in place.
Do you want to add at no cost?
We would do that at no cost.
Thank you. Yes.
And that would be up to the family whether they would like to accept that offer or not at any time.
And I would suggest, I mean, I would say that you'll accept that
Accept
as a
it.
friendly.
Yes, sir. Definitely.
Thank you. That's been duly noted and accepted as a friendly amendment, okay? Okay. So now, I was just gonna say, do you want a recorded vote? And we had a mover and a seconder, and the amendment has been declared friendly. And so as soon as you're ready, we'll get ready to vote. Clerks types a lot better than I do. I use 2 fingers. Yeah. Yeah, okay. Are you good with that, Councillor Longo? Yes. Councillor Longo's good, the mover and seconder are good, we're ready for the recorded vote. Let's go. The recorded vote was asked for by Councillor Hanley, who was also.
Okay, Councillor Handley,
In favor.
Councillor DeRose,
In favor.
Councillor Longo,
In favor?
Councillor Decker, Councillor DeVitis,
In favor.
Councillor O'Hare,
Opposed.
Councillor D'Angela,
In favor.
Councillor Sentence,
In favor.
and Mayor Ugolini.
In favor.
Okay, that carries that amendment, 7-2. Through you, Mr. Mayor. Now the motion as amended. Okay.
Now, can you explain the changes in the motion from the original bylaw? Because I think that's important for council to know.
Yes. So I can put this up on the full screen here. Just 1 second. Okay. So through you, Mr. Mayor. You'll see that everything in bolded and italicized has been added to the original motion. The original motion was just that staff be directed to prepare that amendment to the cemetery bylaw to delete section 2.49. So that bylaw amendment portion has been crossed out and replaced with everything here. So we're making clear now that where the reorientation will be. We're making clear that upon reorientation, of course, that reoriented section is going to be available for sale. Council has confirmed the sections that will be open for sale and also restricted for sale in paragraph 4. Council has directed staff to then update the public cemetery price list to clearly identify what sections of the cemetery are available for purchase by the public and which are sales restricted operationally. We're directed to circulate this resolution to the Bereavement Authority of Ontario to report back to council, as required with necessary financial updates, and that the friendly amendment directed to make that offer to the family of the infant.
Okay, so that's everything in there now. So is there anybody who has any questions before I call the vote? Can I get a mover and seconder on the whole thing? I got Counselor Hanley and I got Counselor Didavitis, okay? So that's the whole motion now. We've already passed the amendment, now the whole motion. All those in favor? Opposed? That is carried. Okay, did you get the vote? Okay, now we're into delegations, public meetings, okay? And we have two public meetings this evening. The first one is a statutory public meeting under the Planning Act. I'd like to call to order a public meeting being held pursuant to the provisions of Section 34 of the Planning Act as amended, respecting proposed zoning bylaw amendment 2575 Highway 20. I'll call on the applicant for their presentation, and you have up to 10 minutes for the presentation. And who's presenting? Okay, and Jay, go ahead.
Through you, Mr. Mayor. Thank you. Yeah, so this is a city-led application. That's why city staff is
That's why I had to say why this. You could throw a curve at me sometimes.
Yeah, so through you, Mr. Mayor, this presentation is part of the public meeting required under the Planning Act for lands known municipally as 2575 Highway 20, but I'll just be referring to them as the subject lands here and after. If we could just pull up the slideshow. Awesome. So before we get into it, let's just situate ourselves within the municipal context on the next slide. Yes, so this isn't the right, this is for the other application. This isn't for 2575.
See?
That's okay. All right, let's run it again. So, site context. The subject lands are located on the south side of Highway 20 with an approximate frontage of 90 meters. That lot depth is just shy of 84 meters for a total lot area of just under 0.8 hectares. Currently on site, we've got a 2-story, 5-unit commercial structure, and our surrounding land uses include warehousing to the north. We've got commercial on the east and west sides of the property, and then agricultural operations to the south. If you could go to the next slide. So the purpose of this zoning bylaw application is to recognize previously permitted uses and building requirements under the 1997 Comprehensive Zoning Bylaw with the intent of ensuring that the previously approved and constructed 5-unit commercial structure on site is legal and conforming with the current municipal policies. And this is part of our ongoing housekeeping work to clean up the comprehensive zoning bylaw. If you could go to the next slide. So that leads us into just a very brief policy discussion at this information stage. So under the Niagara official plan, the subject lands are designated specialty crop, and within the City of Thorold official plan, they're also designated specialty crop. Now, an important note with regards to the City of Thorold official plan is that when the official plan was initially adopted in 2016, these subject lands were included in what was called the Northeast Gateway Policy Area, and that policy permitted commercial uses with frontage along Highway 20. So this Northeast Gateway Policy Area was removed from the City of Thorold official plan through OPA 6, but this occurred following initial site plan approval of that commercial structure. If we can move to the next slide. That'll bring us to the zoning bylaw. So in the 2019 Comprehensive Zoning Bylaw, the lands were rezoned to specialty crop. This changed their designation from, or zoning from the 1997 zoning bylaw, which had them initially highway commercial. And so this proposal seeks to simply maintain the existing specialty crop zone while adding site-specific provisions that were recently permitted under the previous zoning bylaw. This will include updates to the lot, building, and structure requirements as well to reflect the previous permissions that were previously allowed on the site. You can move to the next slide. So this is, like I say, the info report. So this is our time to gather public comments. To date, we haven't received any public comments on this application, but city staff will continue to receive feedback on this application throughout this meeting and reflect any of that feedback through the upcoming recommendation report. I'm happy to answer any questions that council may have, and I'll turn it back to you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Jay, and I'll open the floor up for questions. Are there any questions of the presenter? Go ahead, Councillor O'Hare.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Jay, thank you for this. So it was classified as specialty crop. Does that mean that it can never return to that? Let's say, should the building be demolished or sold and fall into ruin?
So through you, Mr. Mayor, the lands will remain, I guess, zoned specialty crop throughout. Planning staff are kind of the opinion that the agricultural potential of the lands is severely limited based on the fact that historically these lands were used for highway commercial purposes, and they'll continue to be used for highway commercial purposes. Given some of the kind of provincial restrictions, the specialty crop zone will remain in place, and that's why we've just got to add the site-specific provisions to it.
Okay, so it's not going to be legal non-conforming. It will actually have a change in.
Yeah. So through you, Mr. Mayor, the zoning bylaw amendment, like I say, is part of our housekeeping bylaw, and so that's just to kind of clean up any of the inconsistencies that we've got within our document.
And last question, is there any cost to the owner? Is this something that the city is undergoing?
No, so this budget for this application is taken from the planning department's operational budget, and that was approved through a report to council last month for permission.
All right, thank you very much.
Anyone else? Okay, seeing no one else, Jay, thank you for the presentation. Registered speakers. At this time, is there anyone online or present in the chamber who wishes to speak on the application? Is there anyone online? Okay, I'll ask one more time. Is there anyone online or present in the chamber who wishes to speak on the application? Okay, seeing none. Planning report, DS 26-2026, proposed zoning bylaw amendment, D 1406-2026, 2575 Highway 20. And of note, report DS 26-2026 is only presented to council for information purposes. It is currently open for questions or comment from members of City Council. Please note, comments will be captured by city staff and incorporated into the final report, which will be brought forward to a future council meeting for consideration. Can I get a mover and a seconder for the report? I got Councillor Sentence and Councillor D'Angelo. Are there any comments or questions at this time? Seeing none. All those in favor? Opposed? That is carried. This fulfills the requirements of the Planning Act pursuant to Section 34. The public meeting portion of this application is now adjourned at 7:54 p.m. Okay, and we're going to move on to the second statutory public meeting under the Planning Act. I'll now call to order a public meeting being held pursuant to the provisions of Section 34 of the Planning Act as amended, respecting proposed zoning bylaw amendment 90 and 100 Hayes Road. And again, I'll call on applicant presentation, and you have up to 10 minutes, and welcome back, Jay.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
didn't even get time to go for a coffee.
Yeah. All right, so this presentation is also part of the statutory public meeting required under the Planning Act for lands known municipally as 90 Hayes Road and portions of 100 Hayes Road. That's too much of a mouthful, so I'll just refer to it as the subject lands. All right, so to provide some additional background and context for this one. All right, the subject lands are located north of Lundy's Lane and west of Highway 58. Currently on site are some active industrial, interim agricultural, and existing environmental features. Surrounding land uses include industrial operations to the north, residential communities to the east and south, and then of course we've got the Welland Canal to the west. Next slide. So the purpose of this zoning bylaw application is to recognize intermodal shipping yard as a permitted use on the general industrially zoned portions of the Bioveld lands known as 90 Hayes Road and a portion of 100 Hayes Road. And again, this is also part of the city's ongoing housekeeping update to our comprehensive zoning bylaw. If we go to the next slide. So an intermodal shipping yard under the definition of the comprehensive zoning bylaw just means the use of land for the transfer of cargo typically held in shipping containers from one method of transportation, whether that be truck, rail, ship, or plane, to another one. Getting into some of the zoning on the next slide here, we'll just do a deep dive. So the site is zoned, like I say, split zoned, general industrial, environmental protection 2, and then utility within the comprehensive zoning bylaw. It's important to note that as part of this application, the environmental protection and the utility zones are not going to be altered. It's really just the general industrial M2 zone within those subject lands. The application also does not seek to alter any lot, building, or structure requirements. It simply seeks to clarify the permitted uses allowed on the M2 zone within these subject lands. So if you go to the next slide, city staff have just prepared kind of an outline of what our site-specific uses would be, or our site-specific M2 zone permitted uses would be in this example. So you can see kind of what we've already got in terms of industrial uses that are permitted on site. And so this, like I say, was just clarify what is permitted by adding the intermodal shipping yard. If you go to the next slide, where does that leave us? So in terms of our development timeline for this rezoning in particular, we're currently just at the information report stage. So as I mentioned with the last presentation, we are kind of fact gathering right now, and we're ready for feedback from the public. Following feedback gathered from this public meeting, city staff will prepare a recommendation report and a bylaw for council's consideration as part of that ongoing housekeeping update. Prior to any new structures being placed on the site, however, future Planning Act applications would be required. Staff want to ensure the public that they will be provided opportunities for feedback at these future Planning Act applications. So if you go to the next slide, we speak on our public comments that we've received to date. So the planning comment has received several comments to date regarding this application, and those comments have been included as an addendum to this agenda. City staff will continue to receive feedback on the application. All feedback received previously and through this Planning Act, or through this public meeting, will be addressed at the time of the recommendation report upcoming soon. And I'll turn it back over to you, Mr. Mayor, if you have any questions or council.
Thank you, Jay. And again, I'll open the floor up to council, and go ahead, Councillor Sentence, you're first.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, through you. Thank you for the report. So this is, I think we all know that, this is the Hayes Dana plant, the old Hayes Dana plant that used to be there. What happened? They used to do this on the plant. I worked there for a summer as a student. What they used to do all this there. When did it change? How did it change?
Yeah, so through you, Mr. Mayor, there's a complex history on this site, as there are with a lot in Thorold. So the intermodal shipping has always happened kind of in some kind of accessory or inherently on the site. Given the fact that you've got the Welland Canal, you have that natural rail spur, and then you have connection to the provincial highway. So it's likely in previous zoning bylaws, those uses that were occurring on site weren't fully captured when the bylaw was consolidated.
Okay, thank you for that information. That's the part I think that's confusing for the residents and people there is it's been silent for a while, but those things were always happening in the past. And as a side note, we need to get a road going out of there that's not on Allenberg Road to alleviate all this. So thank you.
All right. I think that's a big thing we need to get. Go ahead, Councillor Dean.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. That was the point I was going to bring up is this looks like it's a housekeeping amendment, but I don't know if we can ask staff at this time or if it could come back at the report. That road is essential, especially we just put in, I think, 50, 60 new condos on Hayes Road, approved that. And from the Road Safety Committee, there's always been concerns about trucking, speeding, especially with the public school, the Ontario Street School there. So a road is a necessity, and it has to be south of the fire hall, so it goes right on to the Highway 58. So I don't know if that could be discussed, brought forward back with the report, if that has to come back with a separate report, but I know the residents would love to see the trucks move out of there and
How do we handle that? Because that's a big concern, and I know that staff's been working with BioVeld, and is there a way, and I have no problem if we come to some resolution and I need to deal with the Minister of Transportation, because we're gonna be going to AMO in August, and I can delegate on the access to 58, but I really do think that that's the important aspect in this, is the access road.
Yeah, so through you, Mr. Mayor, like I said, there will be future Planning Act applications, and those will be the more kind of appropriate avenues to address this particular concern. With the zoning bylaw, like I say, this is really just to recognize some of the uses that happened previously that weren't fully captured. But like I say, the road issue is something that city staff have identified along with engineering, and we will be addressing it through future Planning Act applications.
Mr. Mayor, then if it's not appropriate here, I'm going to be bringing a notice to motion up later in the meeting so that we can get a staff report to give us an update.
That's a good idea. Bring it up later in the council.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Thanks for the presentation.
Anyone else? Go ahead, Councillor Thorold.
Yeah, through you, Mr. Mayor, I like Councillor DeAngelo's idea and what Councillor Senton said. Talking to residents, this road would be a godsend, so looking forward to hearing back in the report. Thank you.
Anyone else? Go ahead, Councillor.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Through you to Jay. Jay, as you saw, there is also another written delegation about walking trails along the canal, so I hope you'll come back with addressing that
Yes, that would
question as
be,
well.
of course, addressed through the
Perfect.
through the recommendation report.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Okay. Thank you, Jay. You're off the hook for now. Okay. Now, registered speakers, and up first I have Shelley Massini, member of the public, and I'll call on Shelley for a presentation. Please provide your name, address for the public record, and note that you have up to 5 minutes for your presentation. Welcome, Shelley.
I'm new to this, sorry. I'm a little nervous.
No,
so
that's fine.
I'm a resident.
Take your time.
Let me speak really fast because I get nervous. I gotta speak fast. So I'm a resident at A.G. Hodgkin. So where that yard is, it backs onto my yard. So for the past year, I've noticed a huge excessive noise come from the yard from between 12 and 2 a.m. where the trains are parked behind my, obviously, yard. So I hear it through windows. I've been woken up from it. So our privacy and our peace of mind and quietness is now disrupted. So I'm kind of opposing this because of respect for my family and other residents in the neighborhood, because it becomes excessive sometimes through the night. So that is a big concern for me and other residents on that street, since it backs onto my yard, because it's only a couple feet away from my yard.
Okay.
So I am opposing this.
Because of that.
Yes.
A good point. But that's something that we can work with. And Jeff, is that GeoRail or CN at that point? Because I know it's a spur line, and I'm not quite sure if CN, because I know that GeoRail runs a spur line. How does that work? Do you know?
I know that CN owns it, but they may have it sublet out to a short line radio.
Because we can check with both of them, and we can talk to them about not making noise at a certain point at night.
Yeah, like I'm not sure if there's an hour of business hours that they do it,
well,
or
that's something we will look into.
Okay.
But now you've got it on the public record, so it's part of the thing, so it'll get addressed, but as well, we can look into it from our perspective. Because it's a very good concern,
Yes.
Shelley. Do you have anything else to add?
I have nothing else.
Okay, does anyone have questions for Shelley? Go ahead, Ken, and then Ken. Councillor Sentence, then I'll go to.
Well, I'm not going to ask a question. Through you, Mr. Mayor. So it is the timing of it. Like I said, it used to be a yard. It's a business. It's that time of night that's a problem, right? That we got to.
Yeah.
Okay.
So when I moved there 7 years ago,
Yeah.
we bought the house thinking Hayes Dana that
Yeah.
building was going to be gone, from what I was told. And then a year ago, we've been getting the excessive noises from that area. So I'm not sure if it's from the Hayes Dana factories or what's going on, or
Okay.
the road. But yeah, it's becoming a little more excessive, and I worry about our residents at the same time.
I understand.
If this zoning comes in, like, what is going to be entails of all that?
I understand, but like the mayor said, I think we got to get the timing better with these companies.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Go ahead, Councillor D'Angelo.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I was just trying to get clarity. Is it just the rail noise, or is it trucking also? Is it?
It's trucking, it's rails, it's a lot, yeah. It gets a little loud even in the nights, but yeah.
Okay,
There's been
so-
talking back there also.
Okay, so Mr. Mayor, I think it's more comprehensive than just the rail.
No,
so-
but that's good, because we'll capture that.
Yeah, so if it's trucking, roading, maybe they could offload or move down a bit where the fields are, so it's not as intrusive, and then also the timing of it, of when it happens also.
That's
Thank
good.
Thank
Yeah.
you, Mr. Mayor.
It's duly noted. Go ahead, Councillor O'Hare.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Through you to Shelley. Thanks for coming in, Shelley. I understand your concern with the noise. Just a question, is there a sound barrier fence there at all, or is from your backyard to the rail line open?
Yeah, it's all open. We have no barrier wall. We just have trees between that yard and our yard. So
Okay.
it's open.
So I'm wondering, Mr. Mayor, is that something we could also approach the rail lines and ask them if that might be possible to put up
It can
sound
get
barriers?
captured, and this can all get addressed through the.
Perfect.
through the report.
Okay.
Okay,
All right, thank you.
go ahead,
Oh,
Councillor.
thank you, Mr.
Ditterberg.
Mayor. So thanks for coming in. When you speak the noise, is it on weekends too, after 5? Is it 7 days a week?
It can be occasionally every day at maybe 1:30, 2 o'clock in the morning. Other
so
than
it's
that,
that, okay.
it's late night noise. During the
good to
day,
know.
it's not a problem. But because I'm an early riser and I work at 5 a.m., we getting,
A lot of noise after 5.
yeah, there can be, yes.
Yeah, okay, thank you.
Anyone else? Go ahead, Councillor Durham.
Through you, Mr. Mayor. Thank you, Shelley. You did great. You weren't nervous. Don't worry, you did
Thank
great. Can you do me a favor and just document the times that this is happening? Because I think that's important.
I have them all from
Yeah,
last year.
Document
Yeah.
date, time, and
Okay, I
then
can
we
do
go
that.
forward from there. Thank
Yep.
you.
Yes, I can.
Okay, anyone else? Okay. Shelley, thank you so much for coming to council, and thank you for your presentation.
Thank you.
At this time, is there anyone else online or present in the chamber who wishes to speak to the application? I have, yes, you can come forward and state your name and address, and for the record, please.
Hi, my name is Mike DeGasperis. This is my wife, Lisa. We live at 142 Hodgkins Avenue,
Yeah,
not far from Shelley.
and you've also sent a written,
We
written-
have.
Yes.
We have.
Okay, because I did receive it, I just want you to know.
Thank you.
That's awesome.
Okay, go ahead.
I just want to clarify that a shipping yard is not something we need there. The noise levels now are tolerable at times. Late night, it's crazy. They're banging cars and moving stuff around, honking the horns on the trains. They've got a company during the day called PDI unloading polymers from the trains right alongside, and it's like a big vacuum to get these polymers off the trains. Again, it's like a whining noise that is like a mosquito that is right beside your ear. It's annoying as ever. It goes on for 2 hours at a time. We've got crane noise unloading rebar back there. And the cranes, when they move, the motion alarms are crazy loud. It's ear piercing. You cannot be outside when they're moving those cranes around. And then just the up and down is a gas motor to lift and lower that crane, all the rebar, and you hear it. You hear it all day long. It starts in the morning, 7 o'clock, goes right to 5 o'clock. All right, at lunchtime they quit for a while. Trains, you've got 9:30 start, 8:30 in the morning. They go for sometimes 2 hours, unloading, banging, clashing cars together. Diesel, so when they're unloading, they stall for a while, 15 minutes, 10 minutes. You've got diesel coming out of the west winds into your backyard. You can't breathe, all right?
Can't be outside.
You can't be outside. You can't be outside. The noise, the toxic levels of that diesel is just nuts. You can't breathe. You can't breathe it in. You feel sick. As far as the shipping yard is concerned, it's going to bring more trains. It's going to bring more trucks. It's going to bring more, what's a shipping yard? Cranes, right? Moving those cargoes around, more cranes, more noise. And it's all acceptable noise because those beepers and everything else, it's all safety, right? They got to have the beepers if you're going to move. So as far as I'm concerned, it's not something we need back there. If there is going to be this shipping yard there, there's got to be more concern for the residents all along there. And Thorold encouraged building in this area. There's a new street there with new homes.
Right.
All right? So, I mean, there's got to be some kind of compromise. So if there's going to be businesses in there that are making more noise than is already there, there's got to be some
accountability,
buffers or something. There's got maybe move those railroad tracks to the back of the property, or maybe further down somewhere else, or maybe even put up big sound highway sound buffers, something, because it's crazy there right now. It's nuts, and adding more is not a good idea. It's not a good idea for the residents in Allenburg. All this extra transportation and noise. I'm sorry. I mean, our health is affected by this. It is.
And just to be clear, I know we've submitted, you guys have read our report.
Yeah.
I don't mean to sound angry.
No, you're not. You're not.
I just wanted you to know we did receive your.
Which is wonderful. And I think the most important message we want to say to council today is, please be thoughtful on not just expansion of corporate business. Please be thoughtful of your community as a whole. Please be thinking of the residents whose backyards back onto this land and property. It's not just a rezoning of a rezoning. It doesn't matter to us who live right in our neighborhood whether they have no intention of doing anything with that. We know when rezoning happens, there's plans happening. We know it's going to happen. We pay tax dollars too. Please be thinking about your residents. That's why we're here. I wish our whole neighborhood was here, because I know we're not the only ones who are losing sleep. World Health Organization has documentation to show the impact, cardiovascular-wise, sleep-wise, mental health-wise, related to noise, diesel, trains, shipping. Please do your homework before you do anything about rezoning. Please.
Okay.
And I'd like to understand, when do we as residents get a say before anything goes forward? Is this something that council votes on?
So this amendment will come to council from staff, but the commenting period's open now. So that's why you've sent a letter, you've commented today, which is captured, and I have some written delegations. But how long will written delegations be accepted?
Through you, Mr. Mayor, written delegations can be accepted up to the time of the recommendation report. The only thing is, if anything comes in after this public meeting that potentially changes or influences council's position, it might require another public meeting.
Yeah.
They really should be speaking tonight. That's.
I know, well, I know they should, but I have two written delegations. There was other ones that have been received already, and then you've sent the written, and you're here tonight.
Can I ask another question? Sorry.
Go ahead.
Just one. Is anybody on council here any way related to working for BioVel? Are they going to be okay, so are you going to be abstaining from the vote if there's a vote?
So I've had a legal opinion on my working there and where I work in a can I answer this,
Yeah,
Mr. Mayor?
go ahead.
I work in a water treatment plant, and it's not considered any part of, like, the other parts aren't part of the job, so I don't have a conflict.
He's in BioVeld 1.
I'm at BioVeld 1 at Ontario Paper. I work in a water treatment plant.
It's still.
But I'm also a Thorold South resident. I'm not against you in any way, shape, or form.
It's
So-
still a conflict of interest. If you're working
Then I
for
will
that company,
abstain. Then
if you
I-
have family that works for that company, it's a conflict
just
of
me.
interest.
Just so you know, we're not gonna get in that discussion. Conflict of interest is the councilor's decision whether they declare a conflict or not. And, and it can be challenged, but it's the councilor's decision whether they, and so we're not gonna get in a debate on who did this or that. We've received your delegation, you've spoken tonight, you've made some great points, and is there any questions from the floor now? Go ahead, Councilor. Go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, through you. Thank you, Mike and Lisa, for showing up. I know it takes a lot of courage to come. Once again, have you been documenting the times and the type of noises? And, because I think that'll give everybody a clearer picture.
Well, you can come to my house anytime from 8 a.m.
I am
till
coming
2 for a barbecue, and you won't be able to be back in the backyard.
So we do know times, like when it happens like regularly between certain times. And the general noise happens from 7 to 5 o'clock. So.
And through the night.
Well, through the night is the trains. That's the worst. I mean, the factory's silent at night, but the trains is crazy. It's crazy noisy. Go ahead.
Thank you.
Okay, anyone else? Go ahead, Councilor DeAngelo.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Thanks, Mike and Lisa, for coming. I think one of your questions that you asked, I want to make sure they have the answer. Because when the report comes forward, they can still come back at that time and speak on the report that's coming forward.
Absolutely.
Right?
yes,
So,
yes.
so there's a report that'll come forward. You can come and speak. Your neighbors could come and speak on it also if they so wish. Just in terms of timing, will that be distributed to the members that have spoken, or is there a sign-up sheet so that the residents in that area will be aware when that report
I'll
comes
ask
forward?
Brian to answer that.
So we will be notified when.
That's what I'm trying to
I'm
find
getting
out.
an answer from our staff. Go ahead, Brian.
Through you, Mr. Mayor, once council has received the report, the recommendation report, we can share it with the people that are speaking tonight.
So that would be done, but when it comes out to council, which is always the Thursday before the
Thursday before,
Tuesday council.
that's right.
Okay? Yeah, okay. Go ahead, Councilor Decker.
Thank you. Through you, Mr. Mayor. I'm not sure who this question should go to, but I'm really sorry to hear everything that you guys are going through, especially the health concerns and whatnot. Have there been environmental people out there for the concerns that are happening with, the fumes and all the other issues that are happening that they can't even sit out back? Like, have they had people out there doing testing and whatnot? I'm not sure who can answer that question.
Have you put in any environmental concerns? That's the question. The rest of the questions will be a staff issue. Have you put in any environmental concerns?
Like us as residents?
Yes.
Well, this is the
With
first.
we did with the other company. Yeah.
Well, there was a landscaping company there prior on the BioVeld land that was purchased just recently. And when we did bring up environmental noise with their constant beeping on their machinery, it was, the city of Thorold basically said it's a safety feature and we can't do anything. So, I mean, we know what's coming. We know what's coming.
Okay. Councilor Dedivitis, question to the presenter.
Yes, thank you for coming in. Back to the noise. Is it on Sundays and Saturdays also, late at night?
So Saturdays last year sometimes.
Yeah.
But Sundays, they're quiet.
Yeah.
It's quiet.
And are there a lot of children that living around your neighborhood?
Yeah.
Tons.
Tons. So you just said something about the breathing, the problem?
It's not, well, you can't, where we live,
Yeah.
the diesel, because the trains stop right where our house is, all you can smell is diesel while they're there. And like my husband said, they will sit idle sometimes for 20 minutes, 30 minutes sometimes, idling.
Well, it's in segments. It's not
Yeah.
30 minutes, like they'll move a little bit and
Yeah.
then sit there a little bit.
Yeah.
It's almost like they have a restriction. It's like
Yeah.
they'll move a little bit and then they'll sit there for a while. Then they'll move a little few cars, sit there again for a little while. It's like, it goes on for a long time.
And I know we've taken up enough time. I think I just want to close with a couple things. So,
But
It's
no,
not even
right now,
about-
this is to the question
okay,
from
and I will answer
council.
his question. So it really doesn't matter whether it's Monday to Friday and is it quiet on Sunday, because we live there 7 days out of the week. So when you build and move into a community, you plan to make it 7 days a week living.
Oh, I
So-
totally understand.
So all we want to do is, I think we've said what we needed to say tonight. The most important thing we would urge is, and the reason we're here, and the reason I'm sure Shelley is here, is because we do not want this to be just a tick box. Do a public hearing so we can say we did it, and let's forget about the people who actually live in that community, because we do live in that community. So we're just asking you to be thoughtful and make decisions for both your taxpayers that live their lives there and cooperate and find a balance. Right now, there is no balance. This is how it's feeling. This is coming to us again, and we might be in a position where half the people on that street eventually be forced to move, because you cannot live there with more noise than what's already there. You just can't.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, any further questions? Go ahead, Councillor O'Hare.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I'm so sorry, Mike and Lisa, hearing of your concerns and troubles. Have you considered perhaps creating a community group, a petition, getting many neighbors together? Because numbers can often have an effect. So it's just
Respectfully, I agree with you. We tried that first round when the plastic train, what were they? PDI came in. People have fatigue. That's all I'm going to say to you. People are tired of trying to do things that they feel is not going to make any impact. And they give up. And I'm not speaking for everyone. I'm just speaking from our experience. We actually typed up and we went door to door. We had one other person who said, yeah, I agree with you. That was out of 50 people. And it's not that people don't care.
Well, try to get somebody home, number one.
I truly think
everybody's working.
I
and it's
truly
like,
think people also
it'd be a
feel
full-time job.
Okay,
they have no impact. So
That's
we're
the
here
answer
to
to-
speak for us.
all right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, is there any further questions? Okay, Brian, go ahead.
I just want to put something on the floor just for transparency. The issue of dealing with the railway will be a complicated one because they're federally regulated. Our noise bylaw does not regulate the
I know,
train
but
or
we had
the
good
seaway.
luck. We've had good
So-
luck working with the railways,
Yeah.
clearing problems in Port Robinson. So we have, we work through our federal MP because the federal minister, it falls under the Ministry of Transportation. But we have had luck, and we made great inroads up in Port Robinson, although I'm not saying it's perfect, but we made improvements by going through the right channels, so.
Yeah, I just wanted it clear that it's not as simple as it
I
might
know,
sound.
I agree.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, thanks so much, and thank you for coming to council. Okay, is there anyone else in the council chamber who wishes to speak? Please proceed to the, and state your names and
Perfect. Thank
Your
you,
affiliate.
Mayor Ugolini. My name is, and members of council, my name is Caroline Baker. I'm a registered land use planner with Baker Planning Group. I'm here this evening just a brief comment on behalf of the owner of the subject property, being BioVeld Canada. Certainly, we're here, as well as Dan Rissy, who works for BioVeld, hearing the resident comments. We've taken detailed notes on what they've provided in terms of some concerns tonight, but did want to note that BioVeld certainly supports this housekeeping. This is a long-established use that has been on this site for an extended period of time. And when the 2019 comprehensive zoning bylaw came into force in the city, it was, I don't believe, intentionally omitted. There was just a much more detailed set of land uses. So in our view, it was an historically permitted use, and the housekeeping is looking to address that from the comprehensive zoning bylaw. So certainly just here in support of the application, and as well to hear resident comments and make sure that we're aware of them. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there any questions? Go ahead, Councillor O'Hare, to the BioVeld group here.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. So we heard earlier about the concern over noise, extreme noise. Is there any way BioVeld might be able to look into sound barriers to at least alleviate that issue, maybe take care of one of the problems that residents are facing?
Through the mayor, certainly we are aware of the noise concerns related to the railway line. Certainly BioVeld has met with some of the residents that are here this evening related to the noise issue. They have been in contact with CN to look at options. We'll certainly take that back with staff and look at that consideration. Of course, the challenge is the BioVeld property does not abut these residents. It's actually the CN tracks as an intervening land use. And so certainly that does present challenges that we'll have to take a look at and speak with staff.
Great, thank you. I appreciate you taking it back and having a go at it. Thank you.
My question is CN running that rail spur there, or is GIA Rail running? Can someone answer that question for me?
So through you, Mr. Mayor, we are in negotiations of taking over the track, yes, but at present it is still run by CN, the outside tracks.
Both?
The inside tracks are ours, the outside tracks belong to CN. The ones, and again, and I've had the pleasure of meeting with some of the residents, and I want to thank you for coming out and speaking on these issues. You know better than I do, dealing with CN is very, very difficult. They are run federally, and they are given carte blanche when it comes to running and making noise whenever they want. We are the noise that you might be hearing between 7 and 5 that I might be able to do something about, but I'm more than open to having more discussion with the neighbors.
So my question is, because there are two separate issues here, and I think people have to understand, the usage on the property is separate from the CN issues. But I can, are they using that as a shunting yard?
Through your, Mr. Mayor, at present, yes, they are.
Because I can make a couple of phone calls and Dan Rissy. Dan Rissy. State your names again so the clerk can get them. Dan Rissy.
I'm sorry, Mr. Mayor. Donato of Dan Rissy, yes.
Yeah. I don't call you Donato.
Caroline Baker.
Okay. Anyway, two separate issues, but the CN issue we can get involved with from my office. So, okay. Anyways, go ahead, Councillor Mullen.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Since we have representatives from the company, just a quick question on the intermodal shipping yard status. If that's allowed, is it is the wish of BioVeld to increase different activities on their property?
Through the mayor, BioVeld Canada is looking to essentially continue previous uses that existed on the site, and certainly the site's geographical location with the Welland Canal, the CN railway line, and the MTO highways. Certainly this is an M2 industrial property, and their belief is that intermodal is a fundamental use to support the overall industrial activation and permitted uses on the site.
But my question is, will they increase activity on the site?
Through the mayor, there's certainly the potential as a permitted use that they would want to seek to have intermodal on the property.
Thank you.
Okay, seeing none, thank you very much for presenting. And
Thank you.
we duly noted, you're duly noted in the remarks. Okay, is there anyone else in the council chambers or online that wishes to make a presentation? Is there anyone online? One more time, I'll ask, at this time, is there anyone online or present in the chamber who wishes to speak on the application? Okay, seeing none. Written delegations, just to remind council that item 12.2.2, there were two written items of written correspondence respecting this proposed zoning bylaw amendment, and then that's in your e-scribe notes, okay? I want to thank those individuals for their written submission. I want to thank those who presented this evening. And now the planning report, 231 DS 27 2026, proposed zoning bylaw amendment, D1405 2026, 90 and a portion of 100 Hayes Road. Report DS 27 2026 is only presented to council for information purposes. It is currently open for questions and comment from members of council. Please note, comments will be captured by city staff and incorporated into the final report, which will be brought forward to a future council meeting for consideration. Can I get a mover and a seconder for the report? I got Councillor O'Hare, and can I get a seconder, Councillor Sentence? Are there any comments or questions from members of council? Go ahead, Councillor Thorold.
Through you, Mr. Mayor, could I just ask Brian one question to?
Yes, go ahead.
Brian, because I was going to ask you this, and you kind of elaborated on it. I know federal laws overrule municipal laws for real. But even after 11 p.m., say on a Friday, Saturday, or Sunday night, they still, they don't adhere to any noise bylaws that you 24/7? They can make noise, I'm just, because.
Through you, Mr. Mayor, they don't adhere to the city's noise bylaw. They might have their own. I'd have to investigate that.
Can you look into that for us?
Sure, of course.
I appreciate that. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
The industrial use
What we can do is,
regulated.
I can work through the communications person. We can set up a meeting if you want, because I think that might be a good step. And I've got a good contact at CN. So, and good point.
Thank you both.
Anyone else? Go ahead, Councillor O'Hare.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Through you to Brian in planning. Brian, I see on the report that you have the section which has come across many reports, the impact on the environment and climate change, and it says impact on the environment and climate will be considered through the planning application. So my question is this something we turn to an outside source to check some of the concerns that we've heard tonight, or is this all handled in-house?
Through you, Mr. Mayor, it would be handled in-house through staff. And our report would speak to what we anticipate the addition of one extra use would be.
Okay, good, thank you.
Okay, anyone else? Okay, seeing none. I got a mover and a seconder for the report, correct? Yeah. Okay. All those in favor? Opposed? That is carried. This fulfills the requirements of the Planning Act pursuant to Section 34. The public meeting portion of these applications is now adjourned at 8:33 p.m. We move on to consent items. We have 4 consent items, 13.1 to 13.4. Can I get a mover and a seconder for those? Councillor Hanley and Councillor D'Angela. Is there anybody that wants a poll report? Go ahead, Councillor D'Angela.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Mayor. I just want to speak on 13.4, delegation of authority for tax relief applications.
Yeah. And Councillor O'Hare?
13.2, thank you.
Okay. Okay. So we'll start with 13.2. You want to speak on that?
Yes, thank you.
Go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. This was in council correspondence, and this is a very important correspondence that we received regarding Bill or the ongoing Bill 21 process. which is called Protect Our Foods Act. This is critical. This is something that concerns us all here in Thorold. We have some great farmers here, the Summers, the Smiths, the Youngbloods, the Gordons, all creating farms that provide food for not just our community, but for others as well. And we are losing farmland at an extraordinary rate. I've talked about this before. Mike Schreiner brought this to the provincial government to try to have it passed with an independent member. And what we are losing on average is 319 acres a day due to development. We have to be really aware that if we keep this up, we will not have the land available for providing the necessities of life here in our own province and across Canada, in fact. So what they're trying to do is they're trying to create a farm belt, and this is something that I think I'd like to ask Council to support and ensure that this isn't something that we lose for future generations. So that's my comments. Thank you very much.
And 13.4, Councillor D'Angelo, regarding the tax relief.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Mayor. I just want to thank staff for bringing this report forward. And I just want to read one. It's great when we recognize that we don't have the expertise here and we look for it outside the community. And it says here, staff cannot provide the appropriate recommendations to council on such matters as staff do not have established decision-making framework for such claims, nor does the Municipal Act provide criteria. So they're using, the recommendation is that we delegate the authority to the Assessment Review Board. I agree 100%, and I think it's a great place to go because it takes the political component out of these decision-making. The Assessment Board will make the decision, relay it back to our staff, they'll relay, and the only question I had for staff, I don't know if they have the answer, I didn't see it in there. Will those decisions, that if they go there, will they be relayed back to council as an information report? Or, because I know okay, that's awesome to hear. So staff's got it well under control, and I appreciate that. And they're going to the experts to get the rulings on these cases for tax reductions. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so we got 13.1 through 13.4. We've got a mover and a seconder. All those in favor? Opposed? That is carried. Okay, now we're going to move on to.
Just yes, I didn't die.
Where the heck am I at? 14.2. Where's 14? Oh, okay. I missed one. Sorry. 14.1, item for consideration, extension of City of Thorold Community Improvement Plan. Can I get a mover and a seconder? Councillor Sentence and Councillor DeRose. Is there, Brian's here if there's any questions. Any questions regarding that? Seeing none, all those in favor? Opposed? That is carried. 14.2, DS 28-2026, Confederation Heights West Phase Community Phase 10 Modification of Subdivision Agreement. Can I get a mover and a seconder for that, please? Councillor Decker and Councillor Didivitis. Brian's here for any questions. Are there any questions? Seeing none, all those in favor? Opposed? That is carried. FES 6-2026, awarding of the contract 4-story Class B live tower training tower. Can I get a mover and a seconder? Councillor Sentence and Councillor Longo. Chief Dixon is here to answer any questions. Even though you got a good name, Terry, you know. Go ahead, Councillor D'Angelo.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I did speak to the chief and the deputy chief regarding this. To me, this is a good news story because we're bringing a training facility into our to the city of Thorold. Right now, as speaking to the chief, unless he can make a few more comments. I'm just going to make a few, but right now we train outside of our city, and we have to book time, and sometimes it's costly and it's not as conducive. And we have a large volunteer group in our community, and this training facility is actually going to give other opportunities of training that are a little bit more comprehensive than what's available in their current training outside our community. So I really appreciate that. The nice thing too is it's not going to be hitting our tax base. It's coming from growth related, our development charges. So this is one aspect that the growth is providing the equipment required for the training of our full-time and volunteer fire force. So I really appreciate that. And the only question I want to confirm is, I'm assuming it didn't say in the report that, but this is going to Station 4 location?
Through you, Mayor, that's correct.
And if you have any other comments, feel free.
They come in under what we had budgeted at the budget. Councillor Longo, you had your hand up?
Yes, I did, Mr. Mayor. The question was where it was going to be
Okay.
located. It's not in the report, so.
Yeah, there's a lot of room out there at Station 4. Go ahead, Councillor O'Hare.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, to Chief Dixon. This is great. I find it's fantastic to be able to have a home for it. Would the city of Thorold also be able to rent it out to other municipalities that don't have one of these training facilities, or will it be occupied way too much of the time?
Through you, Mayor, that is definitely one of our possibilities for sure. That was the idea behind when Deputy Chief DeGasperis and I discussed this, to bring it in, not make us a lot of money, but that's one option that we could have, and also to bring it as a regional training center as well, and bring in other municipalities and use it as a regional training center as well. So we got lots of opportunity.
Great. Fantastic. Thank you.
Anyone else? Okay, seeing none. All those in favor? Opposed? That's carried. Another one ready to roll here. Let's get those RFPs going. PWCS 30 2026 Green Municipal Fund Tree Planting at Lakeview Cemetery. Can I get a mover and a seconder for this, please? Councillor Longo and Councillor Decker. And Jeff's here for any questions. Are there any? It's another good news story. We got money, so that's always good when we get money. Go ahead, Councillor O'Hare. Did you have your hand up?
I didn't hear my name.
Oh, okay.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. So through you to Jeff, this is amazing. It's our continuation of tree canopy in Thorold, which we're definitely lacking, and this will add to great new coverage and continue our planting at Lakeview. I like that very much. The question is, do we already have plans for how this is going to be enabled, designs or areas that have specifically been chosen, or is that now the process now that we have the funding?
Through Mr. Mayor, the report back in November of last year talked about a multi-phase plan, multi-year plan to try and optimize and take advantage of other grant programs to reforest some of the areas that are deficient throughout the city and to create new opportunities. So this is part of the first year's program, which is great. We got some money. With our plan to each budget year, we'll talk about the next phase of the project.
So specifically, do we have areas that we're targeting in the first round, and do we have designs, or is that ongoing?
Through you, Mr. Mayor, there's a kind of a multi-pronged plan here, not just to reforest some of the areas that have been cleared over the years, but also to look at some of our aging tree assets across the municipality, and that includes street trees and parks and green spaces, to provide some support in the event that through wind damage or age or other damage, that there's an ongoing plan to replenish and rebuild the urban canopy.
That sounds great. A final question, will residents be able to access any of these trees, or are these solely for municipal sites?
We're working through our Earth Day program to provide trees that would allow homeowners to take advantage of them and plant them on private property. So far, our program really only focuses on publicly owned spaces that are deficient. But at some point, I could see the program morphing into something that would include private properties.
Great. That's such a wonderful story. Thank you.
Dave Baldoni, did you want to add any comments?
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Mayor. As Mr. Holman mentioned, this is a multi-year initiative we're going to be looking at. So year number one, we're going to look at sort of establishing the Carolyn Forest along the east side of Lakeview Cemetery. So somewhat of a buffer zone between Thorold Town Line Road to separate us from the Walker's Quarry, some of the truck traffic. It'll take some time to establish, but that's phase one of the plan.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Okay, we had a mover and a seconder. All those in favor? Opposed? That is carried. Notices of motion. Did you want to bring that notice of motion now, Councillor DeAngelo?
Yes, Mr. Mayor. I do also have a question, but I'll do the first notice of motion, which is at the next meeting, I'll bring a notice of motion regarding road access, a southern part of, I don't know if you want to call it the BioVale property or.
BioVale 2.
BioVale 2, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I have 3 other notice of motions, but I have a question. I didn't see it on our schedule, but maybe I can ask the clerk or deputy clerk. Do we have any future road safety committee meetings coming up? I didn't see any on the
Justin?
agendas.
Yes, there is one on June 10th.
June 10th, okay.
That's the last meeting for the term.
Yeah, what I'll do is, Mr. Mayor, I got 3 other notices of motions that deal with
road safety.
Road safety.
You can
if
bring
I
them
wanna,
there and then bring them next.
Yeah,
week.
I'll bring 2 of them, but I want to bring one up because I think it's very important. I did receive an email regarding this. It's Claremont and Carlton by the Senior Center.
Yeah.
There is a lot of congestion there. There's cars parked too close to the intersection, making it a dangerous zone.
I thought we were supposed to sign that. That was part of that 2 hours, and then a sign from at the corner. You're right. They park too close to the corner.
Yeah, it's causing, and I've been there recently, and it's a dangerous area. So that one I'd like to see targeted sooner than later. The other 2 are also ones, but I'll bring those up.
Yeah, but that one there, we have something in the works. Can we get Sean to send something out to council regarding, because that was supposed to get, that was part of that 2-hour parking, and at the same time, if there's not a sign so far from the corner, there should be one, because you're right, it's a brutal corner.
Okay.
That's the corner of Carlton and Claremont, eh?
Maybe, through you, Mr. Mayor, a suggestion might be is to bring that, to have staff come back with an update at the road safety committee meeting, because we said was
Okay.
June.
Can we get that
I'll
done,
state June 10th.
Jeff?
June 10th. It's coming up June 10th. That's not too far away. If
But
they could bring it to
that's
the,
the Claremont and Carl. And I know Sean's aware of it.
okay, so if that could be brought to the road safety committee for an update, I think, and discussion, that would be great.
And I can tell you an update, because I brought it up and it's not related to this as we move forward, is they put the pins in for the locates on the corner of Beaver Dams and Pine for the 3-way stop, okay? So that is going to happen very short.
And then one last one, Mr. Mayor, just for an update to the road safety committee, is the Pine Street no parking signs. They're not up yet, and it's still a dangerous situation on Pine Street on the east side. There's no room to park there. Cars are parked there, and you have to go around the lanes. A couple residents keep asking about those. I don't know why it's taken so long. Give them to me, I'll go put them up, because it doesn't take long to put up 6 no parking signs on the steel posts that were installed under the new construction, so.
Okay, well, we'll follow up, Jeff. Can you follow up on that? Thank you. Okay, anyone else with notices of motion? We're gonna go to Councilor Didavitis, then I'll go over this side, okay?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. The staff researched the potential to purchase a hot box heater mini asphalt plant and a portable hot box to support year-round potholes, repairs, and road maintenance.
Okay, so you're gonna bring that forward? You can work with staff on that. Councillor Sentence, go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I have two, one for library expansion and one for Park Lane parking. Park Lane parking.
Okay, that's a mouthful right there. Go ahead, Councillor Hanley, did you have your hand?
Notice a motion for, excuse me, a illuminated pedestrian crosswalk across from 61 Norman Street South,
Okay,
similar to cobblestone.
yeah. And Councillor DeRose.
Yeah, through you, Mr. Mayor. I just want to bring a notice of motion in regards to the disbursement strategy that can be made available to Port Robinson residents with the proceeds from the fire hall. Just get some community involvement.
So you want to know how we're using those funds? Or how they?
No, residents want to know how to access those,
Okay,
so maybe
okay. So
some
you're gonna
ideas
bring
come up
that.
with a committee. I'm going to work with the clerk.
Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
I think I might have to call a special meeting for all these notices of motion tonight.
Home stretch.
Go ahead, Councillor.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Notice of motion regarding Zoom meetings.
Regarding what?
Zoom.
Zoom meeting, okay, yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, we've captured all those, and we have a notice of motion, or we have a motion from Councillor Sentence now. A motion respecting concerns at Highway 20 and Center Street. Go ahead, Councillor. Do you have a seconder? Councillor Decker, go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Whereas the intersection of Highway 20 and Center Street in Allenburg community has experienced ongoing traffic congestion and operational challenges impacting local residents and motorists, and whereas the planned opening of a daycare facility at the Allenburg Community Center is expected to increase pedestrian activity and vehicle traffic, creating additional safety concerns for families, children, and residents, and whereas resolving the traffic and safety issues at this location will require coordination and collaboration among multiple agencies and stakeholders, including the Ministry of Transportation of Ontario, the St. Lawrence Seaway Management Corporation, the Regional Municipality of Niagara, and us, the City of Thorold. Now therefore be it resolved that the Corporation of the City of Thorold enacts as follows: that staff be directed to prepare a report outlining potential solutions and recommendations to address the traffic congestion and pedestrian safety concerns at Highway 20 and Center Street in Allenburg. That staff be directed to facilitate discussions with the Ministry of Transportation, the MTO, St. Lawrence Seaway Management Corporation, Niagara Region, to collaboratively identify and evaluate short-term and long-term solutions for the area, and that the staff report consider traffic calming measures, pedestrian safety improvements, intersection operations, access and circulation impacts related to the daycare facility, and any required infrastructure on traffic control upgrades prior to the daycare's anticipated opening.
Very good. Do you have anything else to add?
Yeah, again, it's been a nightmare out there for years for them. We have Rolling Meadows that is growing. We have one active build there. We have another major subdivision coming in there. We have a daycare. Some people can't get out of we've all seen the pictures. You can't get out of their driveways sometimes because people cut through. But the problem is these agencies. So we got to get together with them and say, we got to fix something. You know, that whole area, even up by the jail there, that at Allenburg and the jail should be a roundabout with all the traffic that's coming around now. So that's separate, I understand that, but this, for the daycare, something bad could happen, so we need to do something. Anyways, that's it.
Okay, we had a seconder. Go ahead, Councillor O'Hare.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I fully support this. 3.5 years ago on the campaign route, this was a major complaint. You heard it from every side of the street, every household, and we haven't done anything about it. Lots of discussion, but no action. I think this is a really fine way to push this forward. People have to recognize, if they don't know it, that this area gets clogged up, completely clogged up, and it's not healthy for anybody or safe. So I'm really glad that you brought this forward, and hope that it's going to reach a resolution that can work to alleviate this mess. So, thank you.
Okay. Okay, I got a mover and a seconder. All those in favor? Opposed? You're in favor, right? Okay. Statement by councilors. I got Councilor Dedivitis, and I'll turn it over to him regarding the fundraising efforts on the past weekend.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. We came to a milestone where we were closing down our business to start a new experience, a new business. So I reached out to Brenda and I said, Brenda from the Thorold Center, 50 plus, it's an opportunity to make some money. She was hoping to make a couple $100. But the community of Thorold stepped up in a big way. We covered all the expenses at this event, and we were able to raise $2,500 for the Thorold City 50 plus. And I want to thank all the Thorold community for coming together like they do all the time. They step up, and they're going to be happy recipients of $2,500 at Thorold Center.
Awesome. Thank you. Okay, so now we're going to move on to, there's no closed session because we've done that, and so there's no business. So now we're going to move on to the best part of the meeting, the bylaw. Okay, can I get a mover and a seconder for bills 42 to 45, 2026, Councillor DeRose and Councillor Hanley? That's bill 42, 2026, 43, 44, and 45, 2026. All those in favor? Opposed? That's carried. There being no further business, this meeting is hereby adjourned at 8:56 p.m. and we accomplished a lot tonight, so good work, everyone.